Am I the red flag for going on a hiking trip with my pregnant wife? My daughter just contacted me after 17 years asking if I wanted to meet my granddaughter. Am I the red flag for telling her that I don't care about her or her daughter and to never contact me again? Update included. Am I the red flag for outshining the bride?
Oh, God.
Alright, welcome back to Am I the Red Flag? It's just a series where I read AITA Reddit stories, but just with my own little twist. Am I the red flag for going on a hiking trip with my pregnant wife? Look, I've never read What to Expect When You're Expecting, but I imagine page 1 would say something like, don't drink while you're pregnant, don't smoke, don't go on a hike. We're off to a really strong start. Over the weekend, my wife and I went on a hiking trip with some of my friends. We've always been active people, but it kind of seems like my wife, who's 6 months pregnant, has sort of turned into a couch potato in recent weeks. Maybe it's because she has a body inside her body. It's caused her to gain a bit of weight and become moody, so I figured some exercise would be good for her and for me. Well, I thought I picked a pretty easy hike. It's a trail that's close to our house and not that long, about 3 miles out and back, but it can be a bit steep in places. She's done it before, so it couldn't have been too much of a surprise. Dude, 6 miles?
I am more nervous than a parrot moving in with a mime.
Well, we were about 1/3 of the way done when my wife started huffing and puffing. My friends slowed down to accommodate her, so I decided to slow down too. After half a mile of the huffing and puffing, my wife looked pretty bad. She got really pale and was hunched over on one side of the trail. I was sort of shocked to see her in this state. She had let herself go recently, but I didn't think she would lose her fitness this quickly.
What?
However, a few minutes later, she actually started throwing up, and it was at this point we all decided to head back. I'm fully aware that she's going to deliver a baby in 3 months, but I can't help but think that she wouldn't have embarrassed me in front of my friends if she had kept up her exercise routine. We both ate the same food for breakfast, and I never got sick, so that couldn't be it either. We got back to the parking lot, and I apologized for my wife's behavior to my friends.
I am more confused than a birthday duck getting a Gander Mountain gift card. Are you okay?
I thought I was out of earshot, but apparently my wife heard the whole thing. When I got back to the car, she went nuts. She told me that I was an idiot for thinking she could keep up at our normal pace, and that I was a grade A asshole for insinuating that my wife had thrown up on purpose. I listened to her rant at me before politely asking if she thought she would have felt so sick if she hadn't been a couch potato recently. But she refused to engage with me at all. Dude, ain't no way you're ever polite in an argument. You're an asshole. Dude, there's gonna be some stank on everything you say, fella. I wanted it to dawn on her that she was at least partially to blame for this, but she refused to take any responsibility. This happened on Saturday, and even today has been really tense. It's as if she's holding a grudge against me, and I don't know how to get her to stop. She's really making me sad with this horrible treatment. Am I the red flag? Okay, when you tap on your head, is there like an echo? Because this is scary. I don't know how you keep your feet on the ground with all that air up in there. You're like a human balloon, dude, and you're lucky. You're lucky your wife is okay, because you could have seriously injured her and you could have lost your child. So, you're a moron. And
You're the red flag balloon boy!
speaking of injuries, today's sponsor is Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. If you're ever injured on a hike or just injured in general,
Your injury could be worth millions!
the stories that we read on this channel prove that we should never settle for less, and Morgan agrees. They don't settle for chump change, dude. In just the past couple of months alone, they have seen verdicts of $12 million in Florida, 34 times the highest insurance offer, $26 million in Philadelphia, 40 times the highest insurance offer, $6.8 million in New York, 25 times the highest insurance offer.
And the fee is free unless you win!
You can start your claim in just a click. There's a special URL on this neat little banner here, and there's also a link in the description.
They got 2 Morgans! They're the real deal!
Alright, next story. My daughter just contacted me after 17 years asking if I wanted to meet my granddaughter. Am I the red flag for telling her that I don't care about her or her daughter and to never contact me again? Update included. I am in my 60s now. I was married to my ex-wife and we had a daughter. Our marriage was going through its ups and downs, but I was really close with our daughter. But as our marriage was going through its difficulties, I made a huge mistake I still regret to this day. I started having an affair with my coworker.
Oh, I don't even have time to catch my breath!
She was in a violently physically abusive relationship at home. We became friends at work and things just escalated from there. She got an out from me. She got the support she needed to file for divorce from her husband, who is currently in jail now. The affair went nowhere and we called it off shortly after, but I was glad that she got out of her abusive relationship and that she was safe. Aw, he's an empath. Heart emoji. But when my ex-wife found out about the affair, things expectedly didn't go well. She lashed out and said a lot of horrible things about me to our daughter, who was 15 at the time. I admitted full fault with the affair, but even after the divorce, I sensed that the distance between me and my daughter was growing, until one day, my my daughter said she wasn't going to speak with me anymore, and she was going to cut me off from her life forever. That was the most painful thing anyone had ever said to me. I begged her to please reconsider. I still remember that day.
Tiptoe through the window.
But time passed on. My daughter kept her word, and after trying to connect with her for the first year, I gave up.
By the window, that's where I'll be.
I found out from one of my mutual friends that my ex-wife married a great guy. I was happy because I was hoping that would remove the hatred from my ex-wife, and my ex-wife would advise our daughter to at least rekindle a relationship with me. But that never happened. I moved states a year later.
Come tiptoe through the tulips with me.
I'm at peace now, but I still have some aching sadness. Oh, thanks for letting us know. We're all waiting with bated breath to hear how you're holding up. Do you have a diary that we could look at too? Please give us one entry, please. I have retired. Both of my parents have passed away. My brother passed away tragically a couple of years ago. To be honest, I am waiting for my turn. I have only my dog and my sister left. A couple of hours ago, my daughter called me on the phone. I haven't spoken to her in 17 years. I instantly recognized her voice, but I didn't feel anything. No happiness, no sadness, just indifference.
Hey, maybe keep some things in the diary, you know?
She was crying a lot on the call, and we caught up on life. She's married, and she has a daughter who's now 12. She apologized for cutting off contact, and she says her mom asked her to reconnect with me, as her mom felt guilty about how everything played out. She says she really wanted me to meet her daughter, and her daughter was constantly asking about granddaddy, but I wasn't feeling anything. After we caught up on everything in our life, I told her I don't care about her or her daughter, and to never contact me again. I then hung up. Was I the red flag? Okay, before we move on into the update, let me just say this. When you have an affair, you don't just cheat on your wife. You cheat on your whole family. You cheated your daughter out of having a regular home life, and you cheated her out of her ability to trust her own parent within seconds. On top of that, you put a $6,000 a year therapy bill on your wife and 15-year-old daughter's lap, and then you gave up on your own daughter after a year, which essentially told her that your love for her has an expiration date, which is just crazy to me because you understood your coworker that you had an affair with, but you don't understand your own family. Are you... Okay, just... Moving on. Update. Look, I was extremely drunk last night. The words which came out of my mouth weren't the best, and my comments on my post weren't great either. Oh yes, the old booze excuse. Seeing how everyone said I was the red flag, I decided to call my daughter again an hour ago. I didn't really expect her to pick up the call, but she picked up immediately. I apologized for last night, and she said there was no need to apologize. I then sent her a link to this Reddit post and told her I know I was the red flag, and thousands said so. She again said I wasn't the red flag. She started crying again. I told her she's free to come to my house anytime the next 4 months, because after that I will be leaving the country with my sister and our dog. Our parents left us a nice farmhouse in their home country, and we will be spending the rest of our lives there. I sent her my address, and my daughter said she'd come with her husband and her daughter by the end of next week. She asked if she was welcome to stay there for multiple days, and I told her she could stay for however long she wanted, as our house was spacious enough. Okay, it is nice that you were able to reconnect. Life is too dang short, and rekindling is always nice. It sucks that it took a Reddit post for you to change your mind, but it's nice to see that you took some level of accountability. That being said,
You're the red flag!
am I the red flag for outshining the bride? So I, 27 female, am a black African woman. I'm living and working in Germany for a fixed period on secondment.
Okay, everyone just be normal for one story. It is 99 degrees outside.
While here, I became quite friendly with a colleague, 60 female, and she invited me to her daughter's wedding. I was excited, as I've never been to a white wedding. I asked if there was a dress code / color scheme to adhere to, since it wasn't specified on the invite. I was told the code is to dress to impress. Bet. Day of the wedding, I understand the assignment. I wear my traditional wear, which is really beautiful and obviously not German. The garment is green, so no problem there. Or so I thought.
Oh God.
I get a lot of questions and compliments at the wedding, which I genuinely downplay because it's not my day. My colleague seems colder than usual, but I pay it no mind since she's the mother of the bride and could be preoccupied. The bride is downright rude to me, but again, I give her grace. I congratulate her and thank her for including me, and I get a tight, stern face in response.
Okay, do y'all mind if I just use a mini flag for this one so I don't have to run?
I keep to the edges of the room as the music isn't really my vibe, and I'm just observing how European weddings work. I leave around 8 after 5 hours and go home before the wedding finishes. Monday, I walk into whispers in the office, people acting strangely and more reserved than usual. An office friend pulls me aside and fills me in. The bride's mother is fuming. My outfit was too extravagant, OTT, and inappropriate. I drew attention from the bride and commandeered the room. I was rude and disrespectful. She's told people all about it, apparently. What did they want you to do? Dress like Little Debbie, just all covered and clothed up? It's a wedding. Everyone dresses nice, unless European weddings are different or something. I approached the mother of the bride and asked to speak, but she says she has nothing to say to me. I ask her why she has something to say to everyone else about me, but not to me, and she calls me an insolent child.
Okay. Marjorie!
I explained to everyone who scolded me that this was my first white wedding. I specifically asked what to wear and followed the guidelines. Where I'm from, there's no such thing as outshining the bride. Weddings are a fashion show and a chance to wear your best and brightest clothes. They told me this isn't Africa, which was racially coded, and people here have manners. I laughed and told that person to go to hell, so she's telling people I lack remorse for my behavior. I'm wondering if I really am the red flag, though. Okay, now, if you didn't inquire about the dress code or the cultural expectations beforehand, that is one thing. But you did. No one said shit. You bawled out, they didn't like it, and then the mom decided to let us know that she has a white hood at home. Her behavior is deplorable, dude. But I do understand why you maybe started to feel confused, though, because I'm sure you were scared that you might have been culturally insensitive, plus everyone was attacking you. But in my opinion, you are
not the red flag!
Alright, there are more wild stories in the video in the top left-hand corner. Click there. The wildest story that I have ever read on this channel is in this video, so please mentally prepare accordingly. Alright, that's my time. Toodles.